What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz Kisaki. I am a QHHT practitioner. Today, I want to talk about what happens in a QHHT session and what you can do to prepare to have the most successful QHHT session. What is QHHT? QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis technique, which was developed by the amazing Dolores Cannon. She discovered during her hypnosis sessions that she could get her clients in the theta level. And what happens is that when you're in the deep theta levels of your subconscious mind, you can reprogram your mind. But what makes QHHT so unique is that you actually get to speak to your subconscious, and your subconscious will actually get to state what's happening, the reasons behind. It tells you the what, why, how, which I find so fascinating and amazing. So typically what happens in a QHHT session is that you come in and we have the interview process. The interview process takes anywhere from a minimum of 2 hours. You might be wondering, like, why 2 hours? What are we going to be talking about in those 2 hours? Basically, that time is designed for us to get to know each other. You have to be, in order for you to have a successful hypnosis session, you have to be comfortable with your facilitator. So I take that time out to just get to know you, and you get to know me as well. It's a really relaxed, laid back environment where you just get to talk. This is your day. You talk about anything. There are no boundaries. Whatever we discuss is confidential. It's between you and me. It never goes out to anybody because that's your story, right? So once we feel comfortable, once we spend that time getting to know each other, and I understand your situation fully on why you were there, we go over your list of questions. Oh yeah, I should have said that. I usually ask you to write the list of questions that you want to ask your subconscious when we do the hypnosis. So at that time, we'll go over your questions, like why you're here, and go over the questions that you want answers to, and we'll talk about that. Once that's all done, we go to the hypnosis part. In my opinion, most of the work is done in the interview. The hypnosis portion is like the icing on the cake, where you're getting the treatment, the answers to whatever it is that you're looking for on that day. So the hypnosis portion lasts for 2 hours. It can't go over 2 hours. It's usually 2 hours max, because that's the longest your mind is designed to stay in a theta level. And what we're trying to do is keep you in that theta state where we can connect with your subconscious. You usually enter the theta state twice a day, just right before you fall asleep, like right when you're drifting to fall asleep, and right when you wake up. And that is the space I'm going to be keeping you during the hypnosis session. So the first portion of the hypnosis is the regression part. My goal in this is to get you to move to the events that have contributed to the issues that you have today. So it's usually your past. Most people go to past lives. Sometimes it's experiences that you had as a child. Some people go to past lives. Not everybody does. That's not for everybody. But some people do go to past lives, or just whichever events that have occurred in your life that are contributing to the issues that you're currently having. Once we've fully established your story and the reason behind why you have the issues that you have, we get to the portion where we ask your subconscious mind questions. We call your subconscious mind in, and we get to ask questions to it. So really, throughout all of this, like, my job is to just ask questions. I'm asking you questions and you're giving me the answers. It's like a guided meditation. Like you lay down on a bed, it's very comfortable, peaceful and relaxing, and you're just talking to me, you're just sharing to me what you're seeing, what you're sensing, what you're experiencing. If you've ever done a guided meditation, it is very similar to that, except in this case, I am actually asking you questions as we go along. So I'm asking you questions like, okay, tell me, what do you see? What do you feel? And what I'm usually looking for from you is for you to describe it in as much detail as you can. Get as much detail as you can. And then once the regression portion is completed, we get to the subconscious. The subconscious is where we get to address your questions. So most people, the questions that they have are usually related to 3 areas. It's usually the spiritual part of their lives, the physical part, and the emotional part. Oh, I shouldn't say 4, and relationships. I find that's very common. Yeah. So when we get to that part, that's when I get to ask your questions. But usually the way we're doing it is we are asking your questions in relation to the events that your subconscious brought through in the regression portion, because that regression part is very important. It actually has answers to some of the questions that you would have written down. So usually I'm trying to dig those answers out of your subconscious. And really your job is to just talk and talk and talk, and as much as you can, because you will be seeing things. Like, everybody's different. Some people see, some people sense, some people feel, or some people have all the senses. They have everything, right? Like some people smell and taste, right? I am, like, in my own regression, I am visual. I see, I feel, I hear, I smell. That's usually how my own QHHT sessions have gone. But you don't have to worry about that. It will be for you whatever is meant to. I know most of the time we're very curious on what's going to happen. Like, so what I did was, before I had my first QHHT session, I actually went on YouTube and I watched other people's sessions. In my opinion, I understand you want to be reassured, and it makes sense. Believe me, I get it. But honestly, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend watching anyone's session until you've had your own. And the reason for that is that when you watch someone's session, you start setting your expectations on what is going to be. And what happens is that your logical mind comes into play. All the memories, all the information that we need is stored in the right side of our brain, which is not logical. It's our creative part of our mind. If you ever want to connect to your spirit, to your soul, it is the creative part of your brain. So what happens is that, like, if you've listened to somebody, you've seen how theirs is going, and then now you start your own regression, and it's not going according to what you've seen somebody else's, your logical mind can tend to interfere, and that will affect the outcome of what you're trying to get to. So I highly recommend that you don't watch any sessions for other people. But I also understand if you need to. Like, I am a control freak, so I did watch. So it's kind of like hypocritical to say, like, don't watch when I did it. But it did also affect even my session, because I remember I kept thinking, like, oh, it's not going this way, but what about this and whatnot? And that really sort of played into the results that I got out of it. So do yourself a favor. If you can help it, don't watch any sessions. But for the most part, you get your questions answered. Most people, they want to know about their life purpose. They want to know about why they're depressed. They want to know about how to move on with their career. They want to know if they're in the right relationship. Those are the type of questions that that people come up with. Sometimes people have illnesses that they can't figure out, like, why do I have this problem? Why do I struggle with this? And your subconscious has all the answers. All the answers. Now, the interesting part of the subconscious, like during the healing portion of it, sometimes it just won't heal things. I've listened to the subconscious tell me that somebody who's come with whether it's a sore leg or a sore back, they're like, well, we're not going to fix that. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, this person doesn't rest. The only time they ever rest is when this leg, this back, this whatever is bothering them. So because of that reason, we're not going to heal it. So it does do things like that. But, don't let that discourage you, because like the way I look at it, it's kind of like, well, once you know what is causing the issues, you can make the necessary changes that you need in your life and improve your life. Okay, so that is the hypnosis part. Now, what to do after the session? Please listen to your recording. I know sometimes you don't feel like it. I know life gets in the way and whatnot, but you have to listen to your recording. You have to tell yourself to listen to your recording. I usually will ask your subconscious mind how often it wants you to listen to the recording, and it'll tell you. Like, I've received different numbers for everybody. Sometimes it'll say like, this person needs to listen to this recording every day for the next 30 days. If those are your instructions, follow them, please. Because what happens in that moment, like especially if you receive a physical healing, you need to reinforce it, because what happens in that session is like your subconscious is like creating new pathways in your brain, right? So when you go home and you listen to that recording again, you are reinforcing, like you're strengthening those pathways that were created in your session. And also, every time you listen to it, it's like you're back in the same energy, and you even get more insights as you listen to the recording. I usually do a debriefing after the session, where I'll give you like a briefing of what was said in the session, but obviously I can't tell you everything that was said. So I usually recommend that you listen to it. It is very important. It is honestly for your own good. If you want to have long-lasting results, for the most part, most people only ever need one session, because what happens after the session is you get a clear connection to your subconscious. And if you continue practicing and reinforcing that connection, you'll find that it is easier for you to get answers on your own without asking anybody. Granted, if you're like me, of course, I am that person. I didn't do one QHHT session. I'll be honest, I didn't. I didn't need one. I needed more than one. Have you met me? Yes, of course I needed more than one. If you need more than one session, that's completely okay. You can use it as part of your development, growth, whatever it is that you're doing. The most important thing is whatever your subconscious tells you, implement it in your life. The more you implement the things that the instructions that you receive from your subconscious, the faster your life changes. I have seen miracles happen in a QHHT session, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. These honestly, like, hypnosis is not scary at all. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You cannot be hypnotized if you don't want to. So technically, my job is to just facilitate the session for you. You doing most of the work. I'm just here to act as a guide. And I really enjoy doing this work. It is so fulfilling. I love just seeing the transformation in people, and I couldn't recommend it enough. If you're interested and you want to have a session, or you've ever considered it, check out my website. I've put in the link below, or send me a message. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.